Good morning, team. Today we're going to discuss about ServiceNow Career Kickstart Workshop. So this program is mainly focusing on three areas. One, how ServiceNow is useful to the organizations. Is there any gap that we see with the college passed outs and the graduates to the organizational needs? And how far ServiceNow is able to bridge that gap? And three, career aspects in ServiceNow. So my name is Hemanth. I'm ServiceNow architect with 13 plus years of experience in ServiceNow technology, and I'm the founder of SkillGrad Tech Academy. So let's focus more on the workshop objectives. So in today's session, we completely understand what is ServiceNow and what are the avenues that we can see in ServiceNow technology, what modules we're gonna learn in ServiceNow, and what companies has a shift from their existing ticketing tool to ServiceNow ticketing tool, what makes the organization to shift from their own ticketing tool to ServiceNow, and what career opportunities and their salary insights. And the objectives that we're gonna learn from this workshop is to understand why ServiceNow is and why companies use it and their growth strategy, career path, and roadmap. Let's talk about little bit about SkillGrad because SkillGrad is an academy that started in the year 2022 in order to facilitate the technological guidance to the students and to support the students in their career path. So here, the mission of this organization is to, regardless of the background, this organization wants to give an equal chance to build a successful IT career to all the students across the globe. So the reason why I started this journey in the year 2022 is because I've been training to students from 2016 with different institutes as a trainer. But I really wanted to start on my own, which makes me feel that I want to do something to the society. Because I see a lot of college professors from different colleges, BTechs or MTech, in fact, or MBAs or the graduates from different degree colleges. There is a huge gap of industry, their knowledge level in terms of technology or to the communication, what exactly the organization is looking for. So there should be a bridging career in between college passed out and to the organization. So that area I wanted to focus more, where I wanted to be the bridging for all the college passed outs or the aspirants who wanted to get into IT sector or different technologies. So we started this journey in 2022. Since then, 2025, we trained more than 500 people across the globe, and I proudly can say all IT organizations. In fact, if you tell me the company name, I can say the student name who are actually working in that organization. So we believe in industry aligned training in terms of not, not the textbook theory, but the real world workflows, process, tools, what exactly people are using in today's IT environment. And we actually go with live interactive learning. There is no video structure or we send the videos, you learn it, and then you come back with questions. We don't believe in that. We actually wanted to have a live interactive learning where understand people will understand the concept deeply and proactive with guidance from the industry experts. And I believe no coding and database IT background required to begin ServiceNow journey because that is the core of ServiceNow technology where we started many of the students getting into IT sector from different streams. And we always want help students to ready with job readiness in terms of working in the real-time projects or working with their resumes or LinkedIn branding or interview preparation or could be the career code or career coaching. So the primary motive what SkillGrad is looking is we believe quality education doesn't need to be expensive. We want every nook and corner of India or across the globe. Whenever you wanted to learn something, you should have an equal opportunity to learn that and be a part of IT career. So coming to my background, I being a 13 plus years of experience in ServiceNow technology and solutions, I'm certified in CSA, CIS, ITIL and Prince 2 Agile and Six Sigma, where my strengths believe in terms of strategic thinking, deep technical expertise and enterprise level architectural design and strong communication and passion for teaching and mentoring. I work in different domains and different clients. The recent client that I work with RXO Technologies and BNSF Railways in USA, where I supported entire signaling department, TSOC operations for BNSF Railways and logistic area in RXO. So the reason why I moved into teaching because I believe the talent exists everywhere, opportunity does not. Where through SkillGrad being a founder of that, I want to give that opportunity to each and every student who wanted to be a part of IT. My professional and background experience talks about in terms of 13 years. I believe in, I mean, I led many implementations in terms of enterprise implementations. We call it as from ITSM module to GRC, HRSD, ITOM, and many more. And I'm good at architecture designing the governance framework for global expertise and global enterprise. And I have a good knowledge in terms of building the low code solutions and custom applications. And I have a good knowledge in terms of delivering predictive intelligence solutions to the existing framework. Coming to the domains I worked almost all the domains like from logistics to telecom, banking, and then to manufacturing sector. And the key technologies I'm more supporting recently was Kafka, service mapping, AIOps, and CMDB transformation. Okay, let's coming back to ServiceNow technology. Right. What exactly this ticketing tool is doing, what we have done previously, what changes that it has been. So little back to the 19th century when we talk about IT structure just recently started in India, and since 1980s to 1990s people just started working on the projects. Imagine there is a scenario in your company that there's something is not working. Say for example your laptop is not working, or someone needs to access the SAP, which is a request, or HR needs to onboard a new employee. If this type of scenario comes in your organization, what we used to do in 18th century to 19th century, I mean 1980 to 1990, we generally call the help desk or send a mail or tell someone verbally to who support us, or write a paper and put it onto the receptionist. That's how the scenario works in 1980 to 1980s. But when we do this, the problems that we identified here is one, no tracking. If you give a paper or write a request on a paper and give it to somebody, there is no tracking whether it will be done by this time, or or by someone. And there is no audit trail whether this has been completed within the stipulated time or not. There are no prioritizations. All issues treated equally. You give the request and your manager gives a request or your subordinate gives a request will be treated equally regardless of the impact. And there are no SLA, which means no agreed time frames for resolution of your issue, and no clear ownership, which you can see there is no clear assignee responsible for this resolution. Taking all these conditions into scenarios into the system, so people started looking to identify this as a problems, and they developed a ticketing tool. They call it as, people used to call them as help desk tool. So that started in the year 1990s to 2000. We call it as the 10 years of journey. So companies started working on their help desk tool to make sure that their organizational issues are supported and resolved on time. Say, for example, every organization has their own ticketing tool. If you talk about BMC Remedy, which is a part of BMC, or HP Service Manager, again, which is a part of HP company, or Ultimatics, which is a part of TCS, or Orifex, which is a part of Oracle. So every company has their own ticket creation and assignment, status tracking and categorization, and historical logs, which they wanted to do to track their issues. But again, they see a limitations in corners for this help desk tools. That could be one on premises, which could be a heavy infrastructure setup, which is costing a lot to the organizations. And two, limited flexibility or customizations difficult, because they wanted to bring the third party server into this, or they wanted to get the third party data into the ticketing, their own ticketing tool. It was very tough because their customizations are very limited. And when you talk about the module, suppose a new company started its journey in legal area or a retail domain area, they are not able to actually move into the other modules because of no unified flow, where they wanted to create something new for their organization as a custom product, which is very tough for an organization. And there is no a maintenance strategy when the upgrades happens, how the existing system will actually cope up with the new features. And in terms of customizations, they are building in respect to the client requirements, which actually makes the instance to have a poor user experience, or a slow or a heavy costing effect. And there is no automation, which you clearly see with the issue, because they are static. They are not dynamic, where they cannot do customizations as is. So all this actually brings companies require tools that could actually scale across departments with automation capabilities. That's where the evolution started to think a new tool in 2000s. So what exactly makes these new tools coming into the system like ServiceNow is one, business needs. So global terms, organization need workflow management across different geographical boundaries. They want cross-dependent workflows like HR, security, finance, procurement, and all the other areas to actually automate and work across department workflows, which we call as cross department strategies. And organization also needs digital transformation. From companies need to digitalize and streamline their business strategy from an old legacy system to a new system. And the limitations that they see in this process is they could have, which we already discussed, is one is on premises infrastructure, which is a prima facie for any of the organizations that they wanted to have their own ticketing tool. And the upgrade is one thing which we need to understand, because economy is growing very fast. The new technologies are coming up. So whatever the tool that you are using, it should always cope up with the upgrades, what is happening in future, what will be happening in the future. So, and customizations with this process, they have a difficult system in terms of customizations, where which will slow the user interfaces, and there are no automation process and no cross-dependent workflows. All this brings the evolution of a new tool called as ServiceNow. So when we talk about ServiceNow, the first and foremost thing that actually makes organizations to look a drastic change from their own ticketing tool is cloud native, because ServiceNow is one of the SaaS delivery model with automatic updates. This is one of the first ever cloud computing ticketing tool, and it has got recently AI capabilities with predictive intelligence and automation, and it has got unified platform where IT, HR, security, finance all comes in a one system. And the absolute beauty of ServiceNow is low code customization. Whatever the changes that you wanted to do, you can do it with low code, which means there could be a rapid development without coding. So compared to the legacy tools with ServiceNow, the strong areas that I could see compared to BMC Remedy or HP Service Manager, where the legacy tools could have a strong ITAL foundations or the adoption history, because they come up with the evaluation of ITAL framework or ITSM process flow. So they might be having the strong pillars of the foundation. But compared to ServiceNow, which they already have these foundations, but they also have cloud native, modern UI, unified platform, low code, better CMDB, and easy updates, which could actually see a vast change from the organizational perspective. What actually brings ServiceNow to the organizations, in terms of new competitors, whether ServiceNow is able to cope up or not? So if you ask me, the new technologies compared to ServiceNow is Jira Service Management or Zendesk or Freshservice, which could be a way better in terms of core areas like what strengths they have. But again, for those modern competitors also, they have a limitations which they are not able to compete with ServiceNow, because of their poor CMDB capability, or not scalable for larger enterprises. So better ROI can be done through unified platform and automation, which actually ServiceNow is supporting to all the organizations across the globe. So when we talk about, let's talk about evolution of service now, how it started its journey, and who started this, what makes the organization to start, all these things we'll see. So basically, the vision of service now started by a person called Fred Ludi in the year 2004. So he started this journey in 2003 in the name of Glidesoft, with a revolutionary approach to the IT service management, because Glidesoft, established in 2003, built a cloud first ticketing tool, built for the cloud from the day one. So the approach they actually wanted to bring in compared to other tool is, there's a cloud. This is the cloud computing ticketing tool. When I say cloud computing, what is cloud? Basically, when you can add, modify, delete data anywhere in any device, can be called as cloud. So the classic example for any cloud is Gmail. If you go to US, Australia, America, Netherlands, or India, wherever the device, it could be iPhone, iPad, or Samsung or HP laptop, you can open the Gmail, you can modify the data, you can send the mail, you can get the inbox mails, all these things, which is a classic example for cloud computing. So the same approach, if ServiceNow is bringing into the organizations, so many of the organizations wanted to see what changes it actually brings. Let's take a small example. If an organization is actually having 1 lakh to 1 lakh of employees, if they wanted to start a new branch with branch B with another 1 lakh of employees, we generally used to do it before this service now technology. We used to work in different technologies, where we shut down the server on Friday nights, and then we again restart that on Monday morning. In the meantime, we try to upload the new users data. So the meantime between this shutting down the server and again restarting the server is called as downtime. So the more the downtime, the more the loss of the organizations. In order to evade the system, ServiceNow has come up with a new strategy called as cloud computing, where we need not have to stop the server. We can work parallelly to the new technology. I mean, but we can work on parallelly to the new employees onboarding with the existing employees also without disturbing the environment. That is the first prima facie of using ServiceNow. Second is scalability. When we say scalability, the utilization of resources. The maximum utilization of resources can be seen in ServiceNow compared to other technologies. And third one is pricing. When you go with BMC Remedy or HP Service Manager, basically both this BMC Remedy or HP Service Manager at the time was a batch based pricing, which could be called as when you buy the tool, irrespective whether you use some modules or not, you need to buy the price of a tool as a whole, which means you as an organization, you work only on an incident resolution. You don't want to take service catalog management, which you don't work on e-commerce related sites. So when you don't want for a catalog management, for BMC or HP Service Manager tools, you even though you did not use, you have to buy that product and keep it aside, even though whether you work or not. But whereas in ServiceNow, it started a new pricing strategy called as module-wise pricing. Depending on the client requirement and business, organizational can actually take whatever the module they are looking and it is actually matching to their business or not. Say for example, if you are working on a real estate domain, you can take real estate related module. If you are an attorney, if you wanted to work on legal side, you can take legal service delivery module. Likewise, every organization can actually look for their respective module and pay only for that, which would be one of the beautiful feature compared to other ticketing tools to ServiceNow. So this actually makes the organization shift from their existing ticketing tools to new technology service now. So what shift has made in terms of ITSM revolution from 2005 to 2025 present is from IT tool to a enterprise workflow engine, you could see, because it started its journey from a basic IT tool like a ticketing tool. But right now, if you see ServiceNow, it is one of the unified platform which could actually work for large enterprises as an enterprise workflow engine. It works for HRSD for automating the onboard of employees or HR cases or documenting the management workflows. It works for service management, which enables customer case tracking, SLA enforcement, and omni-channel communications. It actually uses it to serve security operations in terms of GRC and SecOps, and then for portfolio management, for project management related stuff. So the one that I want to tell here is when it started its journey in 2004 as a basic ticketing tool. Since then to 2025, there are so many versions, there are so many changes it made. Right now, you can call this is one of the strongest enterprise workflow engine compared to all other tools in the or in across the globe, compared to BMC Remedy or HP Service Manager, or it could be a Salesforce. What capabilities that ServiceNow has right now and how this could actually use to the organizations, the first and foremost capability that we need to talk is low code development. Being a organizational head, when you buy a tool, when you wanted to do customizations as per your needs, you always prefer to go with low code development because you need to take the resources for all customizations, whether you are not sure whether the customizations will actually fit to the organizational requirement or not. So here with this low code development, we can build custom applications without extensive coding, which could be one of the beautiful feature of ServiceNow, where organization is really looking for that. And the second important feature that we need to talk is Flow Designer, which could be called as visual workflow creation for a complex workflows. You might be working on a manufacturing sector. Your organization has an n number of process units where the bottling unit will take care almost 30 to 40 process steps, but still you do not have to worry because the Flow Designer will give you a visual representation of your entire workflow from a complex perspective to a simplest perspective. It will enable you to check what is happening in your flow, where the error logs are created, where the stuck is happened. Everything you can visualize and you can resolve it on fly. And the third important best feature is integration hub. When we are working on a one ticketing tool or any tool in our organization, when we wanted to get some other data from a third party source, we always wanted to integrate that data. So in this process, we wanted to rely on some of the integration capabilities, whatever the tool that you are working. Right now, Integration Hub is one of the strongest integration platform for ServiceNow where it can integrate to any of the domain across the globe, any third-party server, which could actually connect and automate workflow process and bring the data inside ServiceNow or send the data. In the recent features that you talk about AI and predictive intelligence, or which could actually use intelligent automation and predictive analysis and automation the engine and industry solutions. The core service now modules, when you talk about what you're gonna see or work in this process is first one is IT service management. So in this IT service management, you will be working on incident, problem, change, request and knowledge and SLA modules, because the organizations wanted to use all these IT service management modules to standardize their IT service delivery or reduce outages or improve efficiency. Let's talk 5 minutes about what is incident, problem, and change. Then, when what is exactly an incident? When you ask me, I could tell you like incident is nothing but when something is not working as per the expectation, we call it as incident. I repeat, when something is not working as per the expectation, we call it as incident. Then what is problem? The repetitions of the incident. Say for example, you have a printer issue and you resolved it last week. You call it as incident. And again, you got a printer issue, a new incident created this week with the same asset RCA. Then you call it as a problem because the repetitions of incident can be called as problem. Why we call it as a problem? Because here we will do RCA analysis, which is nothing but root cause analysis. Why people will do root cause analysis? To give the permanent solution. Okay, to give the permanent solution. So when you have an issue, we call it as incident. When the repetitions of issue is coming, we call it as problem, and we try to resolve that and we give the permanent solution. Then what is change management? Change management is nothing but the procedure of moving the changes to production environment, whether it could be an existing incident or a new incident or existing problem or a new problem can be called as change management. Request management talks about when any of the employee, whether it could be internal employee or external employee, is raising a catalog item, which could be like a laptop request, ID card, or could be any access request. Those are called as service request. Knowledge module is nothing but all the issues that you're getting in your organization. When you're resolving that, you can actually pile that up into a knowledge article, which could actually facilitate for future needs. So based on all these modules, organizational is actually looking to make sure that they have a standardized IT service delivery framework for their organizations. So this will help organizations a lot. And the second important module that you want to that is important in your learnings is ITOM. ITOM mainly focusing on discovery, event management, cloud provisioning, CMDB, service mapping, and AIOps. The reason for this is any organization, if you wanted to build a strong infrastructure setup or a inventory setup, you need to have a infrastructure monitoring very strongly, which could be coming up with event management, and you need to have a service dependency mapping, which will tell you which CI is linked to which classes, which are related to parent classes, and the parent and child hierarchy has to be clearly demarcated. And you need to have a automated remediation if something is not working in terms of CI or a reset. So the real-time example, if you ask me, like AWS server goes down, when an event is captured, the server goes down. ServiceNow identify the impacted service, which means you will directly understand the tag the respective CI, which actually makes the AWS server goes down, and you can automate that immediately. And the other modules in ServiceNow, if you talk about other than ITSM and ITOM, you have HRSD, CSM, and SecOps, which are other new modules for different perspectives. When you talk about HRSD, HRSD is mainly focusing on onboarding and offboarding of employees, HR cases, and document management. Whereas customer service management is purely on customer case tracking, SLA enforcement, and omnichannel communication. SecOps is related in terms of vulnerability response. When something is coming from the Qualys, Tenable, or any of the third-party SecOps related stuff, when data is coming into ServiceNow, it will actually see the vulnerability of a respective area, send the data in the form of VITs, group them, and resolve it as per SLA. And threat intelligence and security incident response are the primary focusing areas when the data is coming from Qualys or any other third-party SecOps related applications. And specialized modules, if you wanted to learn in terms of domain specific, the one which could be focusing one is GRC. GRC is specifically used in terms of health domains where the HIPAA or SOX or RBI compliance is very important for those domains. When you have to work, when you wanted to work on a health sector, you need to understand the HIPAA methodologies, which is one of the prima facie in terms of understanding the compliance framework. So when you learn this GRC module, it helps enterprises manage their policies, controls, risk, and audit to ensure regulatory compliance. So the key features, if you talk about GRC, is policy management, risk assessment, compliance monitoring, and audit management. So when somebody is already good at ITSM and ITOM, they can actually took a specialization like GRC or OMT or it could be SecOps, where actually you can directly work on the specific domains as per your interest. Well, OMT is mainly strong in telecom domain, AT&T, Verizon, or Lumen. Every organization who is in the telecom domain, people definitely have to use this OMT module for their order management. Because for telecom companies, managing product catalog, technical services, or orchestration, all these are actually a tough thing. With this order management, where people can actually rely on product catalog management, technical services orchestration, order fulfillment, and service activation workflows. The real world example, Kafka based order management, which would actually scale the messages in terms of Kafka based order management for telecom provisioning. Now platform also good in terms of custom applications rather than the existing modules. You can also build local development your own application, not only your ITSM, ITOM, HRSD, GRC. You can also build a new own application as per your current organizational needs, because now platform enables organizations to build custom applications without extensive coding or democratization development or empowering business users. So ServiceNow has become the operating system of digital enterprise due to its extensibility feature. So the key benefits here that you what you're going to learn is faster time to market for applications. Whatever the applications that you are bringing up to your organization, you can market that. Reduce dependency on technical terms or lower maintenance things. And custom application types are the key feature of ServiceNow. Like you can create a custom portals, workflow automation, approval process, or multi-team solutions. So let's see how the market opportunities or career roles in any of the technologies compared to ServiceNow. So when you see the market drivers, companies moving to cloud-based service management platform. So you learn non-cloud technologies when you wanted to get into a job is very tough when compared to the technology that you learn is related to cloud. So being ServiceNow one of the cloud technology, the chances of getting a job or being in an IT industry is far better compared to a non-cloud technology tools. And the second important feature that you have to understand is AI automation. Entire world is shifting to AI. Whatever the work that you are doing, every organization, every domain is trying to use AI in their existing system. Here, with this growing demand for professionals who can actually implement intelligent automation with AI features. But with ServiceNow, you can also have that AI automation where you use predictive intelligence, AI, Gen AI, all these features, which actually helps an employee to get into IT sector with these new features. And the last important thing is every organization across the globe, like Fortune 500 companies, standardizing on ServiceNow across all departments, which is one of the beautiful thing where we can actually see ourselves into any organization across the globe. You name any country, if you have work visa, you have a ServiceNow openings, and you can be in as a ServiceNow developer. And the career path talks about you can start your journey as an administrator, developer, process consultant, business analyst, specialist, and architect. And if you talk about salary expectations, the minimum salary that I see in US for the last 3 years, it starts with 90K to 160K in Dallas area, because it in US salary ranges will differ as per region. So being Dallas area, 160K is one of the top salaries, top position salary compared to other tools. In India, it starts with 6 lakhs LPA to 30 to 35 lakhs LPA, I could see, with 3 to 4 years of experience. And Middle East is 40 lakhs and Europe is 60 to 120K euros. And if you talk about career journey, where how you wanted to start this journey, first you will be learning as a ServiceNow trainee, where you understand ServiceNow concepts and master the ServiceNow fundamentals, and practice the knowledge with the real-time projects, and build your resume with interview skill set, push in LinkedIn and then other sites where you can market your profile, and finally be into an IT organization as a ServiceNow career or a ServiceNow developer. And the reason that I'm looking here in terms of ServiceNow compared to other tools is ServiceNow job market is very high worldwide across all the ticketing tools. And in ServiceNow, you have a stable career. When demand, it actually demands high in all areas in across the globe in terms of ITSM, ITOM, HRSD, GRC, or SecOps. And the ecosystem that you are working, I mean, that you wanted to work in ServiceNow is actually end-to-end platform, which actually you can work across different platforms. Whether you wanted to be in HR, you can learn HRSD, SecOps if you are good at security related stuff, or ITSM or ITOM when you are in a service management side. So ServiceNow is not just a tool; it's an ecosystem. If you learn it today, you open the door to a stable, global, and high-paying career. Yeah. This is all about ServiceNow technology. Basically, what we understood till now is we try to understand, just to recap what we learned all last 30 minutes. We understand the evolution from other ticketing tools to ServiceNow. We understood the concepts of competitors, what are there in the market, like BMC Remedy, HP Service Manager, TCS Ultimatics, or Oracle. We understood the concepts of different modules in ServiceNow, like ITSM, ITOM, HRSD, SecOps, and GRC. We understand the career path, how we can start our journey. Okay. And when coming to the modules that we wanted to learn when you wanted to start your journey, basically, I focuses more in terms of ITSM. In ITSM, we have again two things. One is IPC and other one is Service Catalog Management. As I told you about incident problem and change, the second important feature that we wanted to learn here is service catalog management. So here in the service catalog management, basically you will understand a lot about catalog development and then catalog of process flow. What exactly catalog management is? If you order something in Flipkart or Amazon, you see a dotted line moving on the top, right? Like you ordered this item, you will be delivered tomorrow. The entire work flow of this catalog item can be done in the service now, because we design the backend flow of any catalog item, and that comes as an end user as a process flow. So all these things you can do using service catalog management. So the core topics that you're going to learn in service catalog management is: one, catalog development in terms of catalog create item creation, variable sets, record producers, order guides, and then flow designer and workflows. And then we're gonna see about CMDB concepts, which are very important for core infrastructure setup of CMDB, which is very useful in terms of ITOM related. So once you have this ITSM knowledge and ITOM knowledge, I'm pretty sure that you will be able to land in a job as soon as possible you complete the project. Okay, so any questions related to this workshop, or how you wanted to start this course, or if you already had a training and you wanted to get into a job, which way you wanted to market your profile, please ping us or send a mail to SkillGrad Academy, where you will be having the mail ID, I suppose, or else the admin will send you the details. Please mail us back and I'll be able to support you and give you the referrals also if you are looking for a job, and from there we can take on. And any questions related to this demo or anything, you can mail us back. We will be able to reply back as soon as possible. Thank you.